Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to What Shall We Do Next? And today I thought I would make a video somewhat personal to me. I would address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the elephant that is no longer here. Well, as you can see, I am a skinny boy, and I thought I should probably address that now. How did I end up like this, guys? You may wonder. And I've seen your comments, and some of you are genuinely noticing, and that honestly makes me happy because I did work on that. And I want to talk about it, and maybe hopefully this video will help some of you guys too if you're trying to lose a little bit of weight. Keep in mind everybody's body works differently, but this is what worked for me, and I really didn't need to do too much. But as you can see, I've lost a lot of weight. It's been like, I think like 36 pounds in total in like the last year, and I really didn't need to do much. I didn't go to the gym, I didn't really do anything, I didn't really diet that much. I didn't really even have to sacrifice anything, but I will tell you what I did, and I'll tell you the story of how I got fat to begin with, because I was always very underweight, if anything, and weight was never a problem to me. Like, I could always eat whatever I wanted, and I guess I just had like a fast metabolism. I never ever gained a pound, until, you know, when you get to your late 20s, things slow down, and some things like weight gain speed up. And that's pretty much what happened. So basically, I was always a skinny boy up until 2020 when we were all locked down. And that was when, like, because I've always had like the sort of treat day where I allow myself to eat whatever, and that's always been a Saturday. But through 2020, because we were locked down and like we didn't have anything to do, I turned to food for comfort. And I was literally eating the worst kind of food that you can even imagine. Like, just actual tons of actual shit was going into my body, and it wasn't all coming out. Some of it was staying there, right here, right there, my ass, and like, it was just, I didn't even notice. I didn't even really care, to be honest. I didn't notice the weight gain until like there were little signs, I guess. Like, it was increasingly harder to tie my shoelaces. I would be making big scary dad noises trying to reach them, like, oh yeah, oh, that's it, I got the first knot done, oh yeah, wow, like that kind of stuff was happening. And that was when I started to think, this is a little weird, never done that before. It was starting to become a problem. Sitting down, I would always have to open the button on my jeans, and then eventually I had to buy new jeans because I was convinced that all my clothes were shrinking. And it wasn't that I was gaining weight, it was something wrong with the laundry. I don't know. My hoodies were no longer fitting, like, things were getting tight. It was getting increasingly harder to walk up the stairs, and little things like that. Like, it was just these little signs, but I was still in denial, or I still just didn't really care, I guess. But then I saw the YouTube comments, and that's when it really started to occur to me, maybe I am gaining weight. I was seeing comments, Mike, I haven't watched your video in 6 months, you got fat, like all of these things, which I didn't take personal, or I didn't take to heart. Like, I didn't get upset about it. I kind of made a joke about it. Like, I literally responded to those comments in a video dedicated to those type of comments, and I did a mukbang. Like, I sat there and just ate a whole bunch of food while I was talking about how I gained weight. So I didn't really care really that much about my appearance. I've always hated my appearance anyway, and well, it got worse. By 2021, I was pretty overweight. I wouldn't even say I was like that overweight. I thought I was just thick personally, but the doctor told me that I was borderline obese. Well, not the doctor just told me I was overweight. And the chart that I was looking at said that I'm just under obese, which is ridiculous. I was nowhere near obese. Like, I just had a little bit of a dad bod, that's pretty much it. But the charts are just so bizarre. Like, they're not taking into account, like, you know, height and BMI and all that stuff. So that's just basically going on my weight alone. But I did reach about 220 at one point, and I've lost around 36 pounds. And I'm very proud of that, and I'll tell you how I did it. I did get to a point where I started to get really depressed, and this was my turning point. This was when I decided I need to change. So the whole comfort eating thing that I would do on a Saturday through lockdown and everything became a daily thing, just to like cope. It was like a coping mechanism. I was turning to food for comfort, and it became a daily thing. To the point where in 2021, when I could return to work, I was having a hard time stopping. Like, it was a thing that I looked forward to every day, was like coming home and that night watching a movie and just eating all of this stuff. And it became an addiction. Like, I actually really did find that hard to stop. The worst part was that I wasn't just eating till I got full. I was eating till I felt full, then I continued eating, and then I felt sick, like I'm gonna throw up, and that's when I would stop. So I was eating way past the part where your body is like, you're full, stop, And I was like, not today, sis. I've got some Pringles to fit in there. Like, I would not stop until I felt like I was going to throw up. Then I would feel miserable. But the next day I would do the whole thing again. Like, I literally couldn't stop. It was a problem. And that was when I really started to question what I was doing. I was like, surely this amount of sodium and sugar and like salt and all of this stuff that I'm eating can't be good, right? So I started to think maybe I should eat better. But it was also like I never really did like how I looked as a person, but the whole like self-hate thing became worse over time. And it was more when I was seeing myself in pictures. Like, I hated getting pictures with people. It's not so bad. Like, I'm okay making YouTube videos, and I'm totally fine with taking pictures myself, because that's when when I do it, I know the angles where I kind of look decent. But when somebody else does it, and I'm just like in this photograph in the background, and I'm just, all I can see is this big, scary, ugly, fat man just standing there, and I hated it. It knocked me sick. It was just revolting. And there's a whole bunch of pictures that I can think of right now that just like scarred me when I saw how just like big I looked compared to everybody else. Not even really just fat, but like everything. It was more like my face that bothered me. I've told you guys this before. My chin, my chin became like my neck. They became fused together like this. And my cheeks became really fat. Everything just like filled out in my face. But my body didn't really bother me too much. But that, like, I don't know, when I started to see myself in other people's pictures, that's when it really started to bother me, and I wanted to make a change. So what I did was how I lost the weight, and it's really simple. I did go through a little phase of running when I first started, because I was just so down one day that I decided to go running. Did that for a while, then I hurt my ankle, so I started walking instead, which I still do, not as much as I was, but I still go for walks whenever I like sort of feel like it. But it wasn't even really like I didn't go to the gym, I didn't really do anything like that. All I did was reduce my portion sizes, try to cut out as much sugar as I could. Like, so I switched from like regular sodas to like diet sodas, which are still not great, but I cut down on even those, and I was drinking more water than anything else. But if I wanted a soda, I would have a diet one. I was not allowing myself to have any sugar. Other snacks, like things like Pringles, I never stopped myself from having Pringles. I would just reduce them. Instead of eating a whole can, I would eat like maybe 10 chips. So I would have like this many instead of literally the whole can, which I used to do a lot. Just reducing the amount that I was eating. So I was still getting to have the treats, which I did go right back to like having them on treat day, which is Saturday. So I did try to stop the whole doing it daily thing. And just switch to having more healthier alternatives. Like I would have little fruit salads here and there, strawberries, raspberries, just any kind of fruit. Like I love all fruit. So I was replacing all the bad stuff that I was eating on a nighttime, like through the week. And I was switching it with like fruit and healthier just alternatives. So I was still allowing myself to have snacks every night, just healthy things. And then on the weekend, I would allow myself to have the bad food, but a reduced amount. Not like a greedy amount. So sometimes that was a little hard, where I would be like, oh man, it's so good, I just want to keep eating. But I would just say, no, enough is enough. Or I would take like a little handful out of the Pringles can, and just take them with me on a plate, and just not let myself go back to the kitchen for more. Just little things like that. Just try to reduce the amount of salt I was having. Even meals, like when I was having a meal, I would cut down the size. I would like half the size of what I was normally having. And I really didn't, that's the thing, that's the point of this video, is I really didn't sacrifice too much. Basically, what worked for me was just cutting down, reduce your size, like your portion size, and try to cut out sugar, because I feel like that was a big one for me. I really feel like sugar was what made me gain the weight, and cutting out the sugar was what helped me to lose it. I really feel like that was the main thing for me. So maybe if this video helps you, you could try that if you're looking to lose a little bit of weight and you don't really have the motivation to go to the gym, or you don't really want to do anything. Honestly, just try that. Like, just try drinking more water, cut out sodas, eat healthier, and cut out like the sugar as much as you can. Just drink or eat less sugar. If you can find a healthier alternative to something, yeah, it takes a little getting used to. Like I switched from drinking regular Coke to Diet Coke, Didn't really like it at first, tasted like metal, but then I got to a point where I actually started to prefer the Diet Coke. And there has been a couple of occasions where I've had a red Coke, like a normal one, because they didn't have Diet Coke or whatever. If I've been eating at a restaurant and they've been like, oh, we don't have Diet Coke, I'll be like, oh, I'll have a regular then. And when I've had one, it's so syrupy, like it's all over your teeth and your mouth, like you feel this sort of thick, gooey residue. And the Diet Coke doesn't do that. So whenever I had a Diet Coke, I would be like, okay, I actually prefer this one. So I don't know, maybe it's a little food for thought, no pun intended, but something you could think about maybe trying, because I'm not like the most motivated guy when it comes to like doing any kind of exercise or bettering myself in any way, eating healthier, but it worked for me. Like, I genuinely feel better in myself too. Like, you can see me now. Somebody actually commented just the other day saying, I look how I looked in 2015. Now, like, I lost the weight, I'm looking good, I look better, I look more healthier, and that's what I wanted. Like, in these pictures, I just looked like a big, revolting, scary monster, and I hated myself for it. I just wanted nothing more than to kill that big fat man in the picture, which was me. But I hope this video helps you guys out a little bit, and yeah, that's pretty much all I did. Just stick to it, and you guys can do it too. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace out, and chase your dreams.